So if you just want to start with a quick introduction, that would be perfect.
Officer Pamela Henry with Great Falls Police Department. I've been in law enforcement since 2005. I worked for 4 years in Arlington, Texas, and then I've been here for a little less than 3. All of my time's been on patrol.
Okay. So, do you want to let us know why you decided you wanted to move to Great Falls?
Uh, Working in Arlington it's high crime. There's just a lot of people. The entire population of Montana was in the city I worked in, so it's less people, less crime. It's just a nicer place to raise a family with my husband.
Yeah. And do you guys have children?
Not yet.
Okay. So what originally interested you in getting into the police force?
I took some law classes in college and ultimately changed my mind. I was gonna try and do like the legal side of it, like lawyers and that kind of stuff, and just didn't appeal to me. But the law side of it did, so I switched my major to law enforcement and just kind of went from there.
Okay. A lot of females that I know that are in law enforcement tend to go the patrol route, or not the patrol route, but the parole officer route. What attracted you to actually being on patrol?
It's something different every day. I'm not stuck behind a desk doing the same job over and over and over again. Every call is different. Every day is different. It's kind of nice.
Nice. So, in your opinion, what type of gender stereotypes do you feel that people have about your profession in general, or about your field in general?
It's generally a male-dominated field, just because men tend to be stronger and more, wanting to get into people's faces and that kind of thing. But really, as far as the public goes, they actually kind of treat female officers nicer, because most people are raised to be respectful for women. So when it comes to fighting with us and that kind of stuff, a lot of people don't know how to react. Do they see me as an officer? Do they see me as a female? And so they tend to be a little more respectful. Plus, it's not like, especially with males, it's not an ego thing, one male against another. So they're.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have expected that. Is it the same? Did you notice that same thing in Arlington as well?
Yep. Until you put like intoxication factors into the mix, it's generally a lot of people are taken aback when they see a female, because they're not quite sure how to deal with it.
Gotcha. So with your field being, having the potential to be dangerous, what does your spouse and parents think about you being in the field?
My parents weren't too thrilled about it. I was an officer before I met my husband,
Okay.
and he's dealt with it. He was military, so he kind of understands the issue, and he trusts that I know what I'm doing. So he gets involved with the other guys in the department, so that he kind of has a general idea of what I do and knows that I can handle myself.
So, well, since you've been in this field for quite a while, have your parents gotten better about it, or are they still kind of worried?
They have. My mom came and did a ride along with me, and
nice.
it kind of put her at ease a little bit. That it's not all that you see on cops. So.
Yeah. Well, especially not around Great Falls, hopefully.
Yeah.
So have you seen or heard others acting on some of the stereotypes of, how most, officers tend to be male or anything like that?
Not really. Us as female officers, we tend to be harder on each other, because we have to be just a little bit stronger than the average female in order to keep up with the men. But other than that, most of the time it's, we're just the little sister, the little brother, whatever.
Okay. You've already said that there's, a greater number of males in the field, but that you said that it kind of makes a difference of the way that you're looked at by the people that you're working with on the opposite side of things. But how about within the field? Do you feel like there's a difference with...
As far as public or my peers?
Your peers.
They, some are slightly cautious until they know that you're strong enough to handle the things that you deal with. And once, I don't want to say proven yourself, but that's pretty much what it is. Once you've shown that you can hang with the guys, and things are a little bit better. But it goes the same way. I look the same way at new officers, male or female, make sure that they can handle themselves. And
Do you feel that male officers coming in as rookies have to prove themselves as much as female officers coming in as rookies?
Yes, just in different ways.
Okay. Like what?
Like, we have to prove our strength, because if it's a male and a female going into a fight, they want to know that we're going to be able to hang just as much as they are, and so that we all go home at the end of the day, because that's the ultimate goal.
Right.
So we go home. So.
Gotcha. What do you think is the biggest misconception about your field in regards to gender inequality?
Probably that. I don't know how to answer that one, really.
Do you think that the public has any misconceptions about police officers in general, whether it's female versus male?
Yeah, I mean, some people just hate us simply because of the uniform. They may have never met us, but it's all in how they're raised. If their parents had bad experiences with one officer, they just see the uniform, and it's a bad experience all the way around. So every person that we deal with is different. Every person's experience with other officers, because they're not every officer is great. I hate to say it, but
well, every field has different personality types.
Exactly.
So, yeah. During the time that you've been in training and out in the field, have you seen any kind of changes in the way that people becoming maybe a little bit more accepting of female officers? Has there been any change or maybe steps forward in that? Have you seen an increase in female officers or anything like that?
Well, then the different departments that I've been in, obviously Arlington was a much larger department, so we had more females. We had close to 100 females, but in relation to here, we have 5 female officers in Great Falls right now, which in an 80-man department, it's about equal to the other department. So you see a lot of different types of females come in to the department. Some of them you are going to be good, and some of them you may think that they should be in a different profession. So it's really, it's hit or miss with the females, but you definitely have to be a strong-willed person to do this job, no matter male or female. So.
Yeah. So would you mind just describing for us maybe what your best day on the job was?
Best day? Oh, man. The best day is always the day you get to go home at the end of the day. Go home and see your family. But
what about your worst day, or what would be considered on the top list of your bad days at work in your field?
I've seen friends die. I've seen, those are the bad days, when someone gets hurt or injured because they're just trying to do their job. And so.
How do you personally, after something like that happens, pick yourself up the next day and go back?
Peer support, we're all working towards an ultimate goal of a safe community, because we live here too. So, we want a nice place for our kids to grow up and that kind of thing. So, somebody's got to do it.
Mm-hmm. So, and I only have one other question, and then if there's anything else that you want to cover, that would be great. If there's anything else you want to add, with female officers and the potential of having kids or families, if they haven't already, do you feel like that is something that would put you more at ease, or would it change your position within the people that you work with within your peers, knowing that you may be expecting a child or are trying to expect a child, trying to get pregnant? and build a family?
I trust the guys that I work with. You know, they're my brothers and my sisters, so they know me on a different level. So I've always told them, I said, you know, if I ever look like I'm not engaging, or, you know, I would expect you to pull me aside and say it's time for you to get off the street, because it's, as a female officer, it's our decision once we get pregnant, when we get off the street. And the problem with this department is so many females have come and had children and then left. You know, they decide to stay at home, that there is a little bit of mistrust among the guys as far as whether or not we'll stick around and come back after a pregnancy. And having not gone through that, my intent is to come back because I love this job, you know, but there was about a 2-week span from when I moved where I wasn't doing it, and I went stir crazy. So, but, you know, not having kids yet, I don't know if that's going to change. I don't expect it to, but you never know. So,
and that's good information, because there's actually a couple chapters that we go through that talk about being placed on a mommy track. It's what it's called in the work environment, or choosing to go on a mommy track. And that's basically the exact same thing as whether your employment expects that you're going to stay home, and so they just kind of weed you out that way, or if it's because of the choice of the woman to move out and stay home instead. And so it sounds like it's been more of the women making that choice in this field.
Yeah. And all the guys are very supportive about, you know, starting a family and being on light duty, because, I mean, obviously once you're pregnant, you're not on the street anymore. So they're really supportive of you during that time, but they've seen so many not come back that. And all of the females that are on the department right now have been on for less than 3 years. So.
And there's 5. There's 5 of you?
There's 5 of us. One's in the academy, one's in field training, and the other 3 of us were all hired together. So we've all been here since 2009.
Yeah. All right. Well, those are all the questions I have. Do you have anything else that you think it would be good for the students to know in regards to what you are doing on a daily basis, being a female in what's mostly a male-dominated work environment?
Just, you know, we go through the exact same training that the guys do, you know, and we know how to handle ourselves just as well as they do. And so it's just all about respect, you know. The way that we're treated is the way we're going to treat people. So ultimately, well, it's really, after a while you just see the badge. You don't see male, female. You just, you know, once you get in there and you get to know the people, then we're just a big family.
Good. All right. Well, thank you so much.
No problem.